Hey everybody, and welcome back to Item Spotlight, the series where we talk about an item in the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, discuss what the item does, and best practices in how to use that item effectively, taking a look at any synergies or weaknesses / drawbacks to the item we're currently highlighting along the way. Today we're going to be talking about the D1. The D1 is a 4-room charge active item which duplicates one quote-unquote random consumable in the current room. I'm using quotes for random because RNG is not so random when it's limited to only one option. I'll show you what I mean. Let's say we find ourselves in a room like this with 2 soul hearts and 2 batteries. In this situation, we're at the mercy of the D1's RNG. There's a 50% chance to duplicate a battery and an equal 50% chance to duplicate a soul heart. This is not a bad situation to be in. We can use the D1 duplicate a soul heart in the room, we can duplicate a battery and kind of cycle in and out, get up to basically only soul hearts by eliminating the batteries one by one. But the D1 really shines when you purposefully limit RNG, so let's look at how to do that. Say we come upon a single soul heart. When we use the D1 in this room, it's guaranteed to duplicate the soul heart because it's choosing one random consumable out of only one option. We're guaranteed to get one more soul heart every time. It's not a Hierophant rune, it's not doubling the soul hearts, but rather giving you one more on each use. Now let's look at a special case, a Hierophant card. The best thing to do with something like a Hierophant card in the D1 is to carry the Hierophant card. Then, once you accumulate a charge, you can drop the Hierophant card, double it, use the 1, and then continue carrying the Hierophant card. We used it here. You probably wouldn't actually want to use the Hierophant card itself, similar to when you have blank card, until the end of a run. It's more powerful just to carry it and get unlimited uses of 2 soul hearts. Everyone's favorite synergy in Isaac is blank card Hierophant, right? Well, D1 and Hierophant can be just as powerful. Here we have a situation where we found a battery charge and a Hierophant rune on the same floor. So we've got our Hierophant rune in one room, battery charge in the other. Now we don't want to D1 duplicate the battery charge, but rather we duplicate the Hierophant rune. We then take the extra Hierophant and we duplicate the charge. From here, what we want to do is explore the floor and we accumulate another D1 charge. We're just going to simulate that by using the console to spawn in a charge for ourselves in this case. Now what we want to do is duplicate the Hierophant rune to give ourselves another extra. So we duplicate Hierophant, grab that, head into the next room. We then use that Hierophant rune to duplicate the charges again, and here is where the fun begins. We can now travel back and forth between the 2 rooms, doubling batteries in true blank card fashion. But the power is not going to stop there because the D1 also works on pills. Now we're on an Isaac run, we've got the D1, and we come across a health up pill. In most situations, you'd be happy to take the health up pill and move on, but with the D1, the best practice is to hold on to that pill. This is because when you're carrying the health up pill with the D1, you can drop it anytime you have a charge, and as long as it's by itself in a room, as we discussed before, you are guaranteed another health up pill. You can have as many health ups, tears ups, or balls of steel pills as you could possibly desire with the power of the D1. Another interesting use case for the D1 is in shops. So let's pretend like we don't have enough money to pay for anything in this shop. We've got 4 consumables for sale, so we have a 1 in 4 chance of duplicating any single one. So we roll the dice, and we end up with the pill, which is I found pills. Not what we were looking for, but if there are less consumables on the shop, you might be able to game your way to a much needed soul heart, bomb, or key. One unique interaction of the D1 is with chests. With normal chests, as you see here, any chest is rerolled into another random chest of the same type. So a golden chest with an item in it, as in this example, does not guarantee also getting an item in its duplicate. However, conversely, duplicating a golden chest with consumables could result in spawning a chest with an item. One obvious counterexample to this rule is on the level the chest, where every chest spawned is guaranteed to contain an item. And in a case like this, we end up with the Halo, a great all stats up, as our extra addition to an otherwise mostly lackluster collection of items. Finally, one place where the D1 totally fails is in duplicating trinkets. So here we have a room where I've spawned in a bunch of trinkets for demonstration purposes, and I've also gone ahead and given myself Mom's purse so we can carry 2 trinkets. However, as you can see, even though I have the inventory capacity, I am unable to carry 2 copies of the same trinket, so the D1 is mostly useless for trinkets. There are some niche cases where you could double single-use or temporary trinkets, such as store credit, wishbone, or walnut, but by and large, the D1 strikes out when it comes to duplicating trinkets. So let's summarize what we've learned about the D1. First, the basics. The D1 is a 4-room charge active item, so it occupies your active item slot. What the D1 does is duplicate a random consumable in the room. And an important distinction is that it does not double everything, but rather duplicates one thing. This means that the D1 is best used on a single consumable in order to control and limit RNG to your advantage. The D1 becomes extremely powerful in conjunction with the carry drop strategy that we showcased in this video. So you find a beneficial pill, carry it with you, and drop it whenever you have a charge or whenever you need its benefit. The D1 has a unique use case for shops and chests, but is not that good for trinkets. And finally, key synergies for the D1 include consumable capacity increase items such as polydactyly, deep pockets, little baggy, and starter deck. And like all active items, the D1 benefits strongly from anything that enhances your ability to get an active item charge, battery items, and trinkets. So that wraps up the item spotlight on the D1. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like or a comment. It always helps me out a lot. And if you have anything at all to add or have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. If you'd like to see more Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus item spotlight videos and other content when it comes out on the channel, please subscribe. I'm Accidental Grenade, and as always, thank you so much for watching.